That's right. We are back. This is Kevin Johnson of Leverage Consulting, and you're listening to the Organizational Excellence Podcast. Recently, I brought to you another podcast that was talking about team meetings, and this is an extension of that podcast. So, as you knew from the last podcast, I had mentioned that I got a number of questions revolving around team meetings and why people don't have them or what they need to do about them. And the question that was posed, which is going to be today's podcast, is that our team meetings in the past have not been so positive, and we need to know what to do to turn them around. So this was my response, and this is what I'm sharing with all of you today. I think the first thing to do is to be uber clear with everyone is that our team meetings have not been so positive. And it's not that you're the Einstein in the room that just discovered this, because I'm sure everyone feels exactly the same way. But it's more of the leaders or the managers within your business or your practice that are acknowledging, you know what, this is not great, kids. We're not having fun here. They're not productive, and it has to change. So I think just acknowledging the fact that they've not been good and we are going to be doing things to change it is really the first step. And I think really sharing the attitude that it's not that we're going to stop having team meetings, which I believe is typically the response most have, is that, well, this has been an awful experience. Let's not do it again. Instead, we want to send the message that it's not a matter of whether we're going to have team meetings. It's just a matter of how good we're going to make them. It's got more to do with that attitude. So that is the first thing, is just acknowledging it's not been very good, and we're going to fix it. The next suggestion is to consider changing locations. Sometimes a change in geography can change everyone's mood. It can change everyone's mindset about the team meetings, and sometimes just getting out of where you work is kind of a big deal, because at that point you're changing the look of everything. You're getting everyone out of their comfortable environment. And probably the biggest thing is you're eliminating all the distractions. So when the UPS driver shows up, or you have someone that comes in to pay their bill, or you have someone that stops in for a question, all those things are gone. You can't hear the phones, none of it. It's all gone. So number 2 was just change your geography. And the third thing, and this is not an all-inclusive list, this is just 3 really big ways you can go about changing that monthly meeting, is consider bringing in someone else. It could be something where you bring in a consultant, coach, someone like myself, or you could bring in someone like your software trainer. You could bring in someone who's an expert in a given area that's outside of consulting or outside of your software. Maybe it's someone who, your software vendor, your technology vendor, someone who's going to come in, bring a different perspective, and teach your team something. Just hearing it from someone else, sometimes it makes a really big deal, and it's even funny how many times I've heard that over the years. It's like, I've said the same thing over and over, but I bring someone else in, they say it one time, and it's literally like Moses just came off the mountain with the stone tablets. Consider bringing someone else in, because that different perspective and that different voice, the different delivery can really make a big difference. This is not a super long podcast, but it's got 3 very impactful tips. And if I guarantee you put these to use, it's going to make a difference to your team meetings. So that was number 2 in the series of questions for the team meetings. I'm hoping you are finding this helpful. And as I said, I've got more coming at you very soon.